good and decent people of YouTube, despite the one voice seemingly outcry all over the internet for anybody who saw the guy who liberated the CEO of UnitedHealthcare Insurance from himself, if you will, if you saw him, shh, you didn't see him. Despite the outcry saying, please don't rat this guy out, some old lady in a McDonald's in Pennsylvania decided to call the police when she saw who she believed is him. This is the suspected shooter. He's not been convicted of anything. Let's remember that during the reporting of this story. The name of the suspected liberator is Luigi Mangione. And it's going to be tough for him. I mean, every single rich person has been clutching their purse a little tighter, locking their doors when they pull up. Whether or not you fall on the side of vigilante justice like this is all wrong, it's immoral, it is anarchy, or if you fall on the side of the rest of the internet who says, tee ha ha. Who cares? This guy has been raising the prices, taking away necessary health care from those who need it most, when they need it most, jacking up the prices when he knows that he can squeeze them the most, and in order to fill his golden parachute with the air of their death and destruction. Tee-hee. No matter which side you fall on, I want to give you some facts. I want to give you some understanding and maybe a little more nuanced reporting as a member of the resistance here, okay? If you don't understand those in that second camp, the tee-hee camp, those people are simply waking up to the actual fact that when you shoot one man in the street, it is murder, and you're a murderer. When you kill thousands of people in hospitals by taking away their ability to get treatment, you're an entrepreneur. That part. We have been conditioned to believe that because someone makes money by whatever means they make it by, and they also buy the politicians to write the rules and the laws, so it seems like it's not illegal how they get it. Somehow their deeds and their actions have given them some sort of morality. Even when we know it's wrong, we're not willing to call them what they are. Murderers, executioners. They design a system made only for them to win and make money, and that money is dependent upon your death, destruction, and not paying out what you've paid in as long as you've been a part of it. That's how insurance companies make money. That's it. So if you're still wondering, how could these people feel this way? I can only tell you that the majority of Americans know what it is to have lost somebody because they were denied health care. Know what it is to have lost something in themselves while looking for dignity in a hospital and not finding it, while thinking that they were all paid up, that they've done the right thing, and realizing that it doesn't matter, knowing that the death and destruction you see around you in your family or your friends will never be prosecuted, will never be investigated, will be seen as simply a part of the way it works in this country. An unfortunate cog in the wheel. At that point, the pitchforks are bound to come. Aristotle tells us the middle class serves simply as the buffer, a necessary one, from the pitchforks, from those who have nothing, against those who have everything by taking. You see, you're not in the middle class when you have a car, a house, a TV, a decent job, but you're one illness away from destroying everything. That's not a middle class. That's teetering on the edge of destruction in a fantasy life. That's what that is. And in the back of everybody's mind, that's there. Because they have risen the price of education and healthcare and everything for so long, even what is considered to be middle class now is really just one step away from utter destruction and homelessness. Your buffer, rich people, is shrinking. And that should worry you. No matter what side you believe you should fall on, the truth is those people will never be arrested, convicted, or put to trial. ever. When that's the reality you live in, you had better daggone make sure you have a strong middle class, because you're going to need that buffer, and it's shrinking. It's thinning. On the other hand, this test has proven successful whether we like it or not. Anthem, which used to be Blue Cross Blue Shield, but they changed their name around because they were hoping to avoid pitchforks a long time ago, they dropped the controversial new plan to cap anesthesia coverage. Yes, that was the plan, and that means if you're in surgery and it goes longer than they think it should have, they will cap the coverage of your anesthesia in mid-surgery. You may think that this is a diabolical thing to do, and who would do such a thing? Well, they would do such a thing. They would float such an idea because they've never had a consequence for any of their other horrible, disgusting ideas. Anyone like to have a guess as the real reason why all of a sudden you now personally, you will no longer be capped for your anesthesia if you have a surgery? Yeah. While you may say to yourself, morality is definite, understand, nothing else worked to stop these animals from doing the things that they just have to do to squeeze every living little dollar out of you without consequence. The pitchforks are the only things left. So much so, Ben Shapiro thought that he would go on and say, you know what? This is all some left-wing thuggism. They are all animals and criminals. He found out even the people who listen to him, the right-wing sycophants of Donald Trump, these people who claim law and order unless they're attacking the Capitol building, actually said to him, no, Ben, not even you can pull the wool over our eyes because we're perfectly happy with disenfranchising and destroying others that we never see. The 1% of trans people we never meet. We're just completely happy destroying others, the Haitians we never see. But this affects me. No, Ben Shapiro. This guy is a modern day Robin Hood. We love him. As a matter of fact, look at the memes. He's sexy. He's a hunk. Leave something out for him at your doorstep. We love him. These people even said, what women really want. Here's part 2. Notice the picture. See anything important? You should. Vigilante justice doesn't work the same if you're not white. The response to vigilante justice will not be the same if you're not white. I need you to understand that. Be okay with that. Use it to our advantage. You see, this Robin Hood is fighting for us. This Robin Hood is non-threatening, fighting for the collective us. This Robin Hood, that may be a bit much. History reminds us that vigilante violence disproportionately harms marginalized communities. When Jordan Neely was killed in a chokehold on a New York City subway by fellow subway passenger Daniel Penny, some conservative politicians declared him a good Samaritan, the Superman. That guy was eliminating the threat to the collective whole. You see, these same people who are on Ben Shapiro's show were also the same ones who in 2012 and 17-year-old black teen Trayvon Martin was fatally shot by George Zimmerman, a man who followed Martin during his walk home from the store. They praised him. When Fox News showed the picture, they showed the one of him smoking weed and doing his teeth like this with his middle finger up because that's threatening. That little kid is a threat, and I can see why he shot him. Vigilante self-assigns the role of judge, jury, and executioner, deciding who is breaking the law and enacting their punishment without the oversight of the criminal justice system. if Trayvon Martin had the gun. That group of people who couldn't wait to get that justice, that vigilante justice, would be singing a different tune. Black folks, Muslims, don't even try it. And not just because you're not going to get the lovey-dovey eyes and the strongman comparisons in the hot boy summer, but it's also because you're literally going to mess it up for everybody. Because when your face is the one holding the gun, you're no longer the vigilante for the people. You're a threat to those who aren't really sure that you are the person who should be deciding who the criminals are and who they aren't. And that comment section under Ben Shapiro's show would have gone a whole lot differently. They would not be able to allow themselves to pick up the pitchfork for the black guy or Muslim guy with the turban on.
Crystal just went to his Twitter account, and here's the little shocking plot twist for you. You ready? Big time retweeter of Andrew Huberman, the like Rogan adjacent kind of alternative health type guy. Big fan of Elon Musk, retweeted a lot of Elon Musk, and she's scrolling through here, and he's a lot of like, he's sort of, I wouldn't say manosphere, because manosphere is like fresh and fit and those types. Yeah, it's not like, fresh and fit.
Bro, it's like health, fitness, and there's a lot of like concern about social media. Right. There's some posting about like anti-immigration. And
then you have Jonathan Haidt. He's retweeting Jonathan Haidt.
Clearly.
Jonathan Haidt, however you say
it. That's the social media stuff.
The Anxious Generation. He's talking about that.
That guy Tim Urban, who wrote like a whole book about the woke
Tim
mind.
Tim Ferriss.
No, Tim Urban.
Oh, I see Tim Ferriss there too.
Who wrote a whole book about
woke mind virus type shit.
Virus. So anyway, he's a right-winger, which is fucking hilarious.
So yeah, he's a right-winger. It'll be interesting to see like how does Ben Shapiro deal with it now.
This is a young man here, 26 years old, a Penn graduate. That's the University of Pennsylvania, an Ivy League school. His most recent address points to Hawaii.
He's right-wing. He's one of them. But maybe has seen the folly and the fallacy of his proximity to being up there, his proximity to whiteness because of something that happened to a parent, a friend, a family member. And UnitedHealthcare, the CEO, he showed him exactly where he belonged. University of Pennsylvania, education or not. There's a really, really, really important thing to remember at the end of this. There's an entire population of people who are already radicalized and waiting and weird and crazy. We, all of us in this resistance, may not have to do anything at all. We need to be tapping in to all of them who've already been radicalized and just point them in the right direction. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.